I think having a curious mind, I think, is really important. And you talked about divergent and convergent thinking. Um, is a sort of one of the favourite areas that of mine at the moment. That's I think about regularly is unlearning. But the problem we have is that we quite often get trapped in our own bubbles of thinking and routines and industries. And I think, like for example, you mentioned the cement company that actually brought in its customers. In other words, the supplier, the cement companies, thinks it's got the answers, but hang on, let's actually talk to some other people outside our bubble, even though they're sure buying cement. Because I certainly feel sometimes that I'm just trapped in my own routines and patterns that restrains me and restricts me to not have a very I suppose, wide view of the world that allows me to think outside the box, which is an overused term, I know. And I love the three types of knowledge you mentioned in the book as well. Things we know. Things we know, we don't know. And I think the biggie is things we don't know, I think so. Be interested in your thoughts on why you mentioned those three types of knowledge.
Well, so that is how I think something like future thinking and scenarios, when you do it right, is about expanding the riverbanks, getting outside your comfort zone. It should feel a little bit uncomfortable. And if it doesn't, you're not doing it right. I like to think uh, I I help clients get to the right solutions, but sometimes, you know what, Jeff, I don't. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, I was working with an airport, quite a large Canadian airport, and the CEO kind of looked at me and said, let's think about the worst case scenario for airline travel. And I said, yeah, okay, let's do that. We were in the boardroom with the management team. And he said, 9/11 airline travel dropped 5% immediately afterwards for a period of time. It was bad. I said, yeah, I remember that. That was pretty bad. And he said, so maybe the worst case scenario would be it would drop 6% in the future because of some event. And I kind of looked at him and, he's a big CEO of many different companies in his career and far smarter than me. And I'm kind of reasonably smart. And we looked at each other. We looked at the rest of the management team. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. It dropped 95%. 95%. We were so wrong. Why is that? Like, we get into this comfort zone of, feeling like, it can't be that bad. And, that's what I plan, Jeff, on spending the next few years as I advise clients in my job is, are we stretching the riverbanks? Really, are we feeling uncomfortable? It can't be ridiculous because it's got to be possible. It's got to be plausible. It's got to be probable. But boy, we need to stretch beyond because, like, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody's got a good plan until they get punched in the face.
That's right.
We've been punched in the face with this COVID thing, and none of us saw it. Well, I'm sorry. Some people saw it coming, and I can talk about that if you want. But most of us didn't see it coming, and it's really impacted us.